Hey guys, good morning. It's Hayes with CheatSheetPros.com. It's 9 a.m. on Friday, January 20th, and we are going to do our look back for the NBA prize picks. This is one of the things I'm really trying to focus on right now. I know a lot of you out there play prize picks, so I want to go through and show the results. I'm trying to do this every day. The last couple of days have been really busy at work. But again, we're just going to go ahead and dive into this. So here we have our results. So this is the price pick line, the result if it went over or under. And then the different tabs here, we have our cheat line with a gap, and then we have a recommended play if it's more than 2 points difference. We have a confidence percentage, and then over here we have the fantasy pros projections, we have the roto projections, we have the last 7-day average, and then we have an average of Fantasy Pros and Roto put together, just kind of averaged out. Some people wanted to see that, which has actually been doing pretty good for the most part. We also have our streaks here, so we can see which ones have a good streak, if they continue that streak or not. We have the last 5 hit rate, and when you scroll over here, we have the last 10 hit rate, as well as the last 10 game logs. So let's go ahead and get started. So first I'm going to look at Fantasy Pros, RotoWire, the averages, and then we're going to move over from here. Now, when we first started looking at this, Fantasy Pros was really good. Yesterday they kind of flipped a little bit, and I don't know why that keeps flipping over there. Get back over here. Okay, so we're sorting by the difference in Fantasy Pros, and over here you can kind of see the results. And so they ended up upside down. They were 16 and 19 over the top 35 plays. This is kind of how they turned out. A lot of fantasy scores on the PM update rise to the top. So Fantasy Pros projected them a lot higher. A lot of them fell under. I didn't dig into the actual games, but just taking a look at. I didn't look at the percentages, but you can see the percentage difference. They did a little bit better, but still 50% at best. Looking at the roto projections, and again, I don't like projections. Everybody keeps asking me that, so just throwing it out there. I'm not a fan of projections because they are just averages by huge sites, and then smaller sites bump them up or down just a little bit, but they don't really pay a lot of attention to them. Anyways, that's my rant. So the roto projections, they did a little bit better. They ended up 20 and 15 over the top 35. They hit 4 of their top 5, so I was kind of impressed that Roto jumped back in there and leveled the playing ground with Fantasy Pros. And then when we averaged the two out, let's take a look at how that ended up. So over here, the average ended up 18 and 17, so just about 50%. You know, you can kind of see here, they lost 4 of the top 5 and then kind of dropped down, which typically if the Fantasy Pros, RotoWire, if they miss, then this average is going to miss, obviously. So let's look at the last 7-day average. Now, this is 7-day, not 7-game. I did have someone message me and ask me the last 7 games were different than the last 7-day average. So just keep in mind, last 7 days might only be 3 or 4 games, as opposed to we're showing you the last 10 actual games they played. So there's a little difference there. So looking at the last 7-day averages, these are a lot of fun because you want to catch players that are hot. For example, Van Vliet, and let me see, I wonder if I can show that to you real quick. Let me pull this up here. So Van Vliet was one of the plus 245 plays that we put out yesterday, and so I want to kind of show you some of the things I look at over here on the prop tool. So focus down here. So Van Vliet, look at these games. He had 14 points, 11 points, 11 points, 3 points, but only 26 minutes, so he really wasn't doing anything. And then boom, all of a sudden on this game, he blew up, had 33 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, and then hit 5 threes and had 2 blocks, 2 steals in 45 minutes. He exploded that game. Well, Van Vliet's a monster, and he was a monster last year, so I had posted as soon as this game came out, I think you could take over 20 points, and it was plus 265. I said, hey, put this with Scotty Barnes, points, rebounds, and assists, and he absolutely smashed it. He put up 39. Well, yesterday, I had a busy day at work. As soon as I get home, I update the sheet. And I'm like, I'm not going to play tonight, but then I'm addicted. So I said, yes, I am going to play tonight. So I jump in there and I look and I see Van Vliet and Barnes. I'm like, got to jump on it again. So yesterday we got over 22 points at plus whatever it was with the Scotty Barnes, and they both hit. So that was kind of nice to see. So Again, if he does this 8 or 9 games in a row, the sports books and prize picks are going to catch on and they're going to start raising it up. They're going to start juicing it up. You're going to have to pay a lot more. So you have to find these players that get hot in these short stints. Jaren Jackson was another one who got hot. We could ride him for a while. And then up here, Scotty Barnes is another one. Look at this. His PRA, 35, 19, 37, 41, 37, 32. So he's been crushing it. And we took, I think, over 25 last night, which felt fairly safe. But again, that's going to start going up because now he has a string of games under his belt. Anyways, that's my rant. So the last 7-day average gives us kind of the players that are getting hot that we can really look at. Now you have to look and see, did this player just get hot because player X was ruled out, or is he just getting more playing time and taking more shots? So anyways, when we sort by the last 7-day average, look at this. I mean, absolutely crushed it. So the last 7-day average for the top 35 plays was 28-7. That is absolutely phenomenal. For just a raw average, the average Joe could come in here, sort by last 7-day average compared to the prize pick line, and look at those top 35 plays, pick 5 of them. You know, dig through there, and you would have had a high probability of hitting your card. And if you're just trying to pick 2, that did really well. So that's a plus looking at the last 7-day average. Over here, the confidence percentage and the Cheat Sheet Pro line are fairly similar, but we're going to take a look at those. They did really well. So confidence percentage, when you sort by that, look at the top plays. That did really well. So the confidence was 26-5 over the top 31, which is absolutely phenomenal. I was very excited to see that. And again, we have good days, we have bad days. Some days are just in the shitter and, you know, 50-50 at best. But then the days we have that are really good, those are the days we can come out there because your cards you're getting, you know, plus 200, plus 300, plus 400. So you only need to win those 20, 30, maybe 40% of the time, depending on what you're taking and the odds you're taking. Now, looking at the cheat line versus the prop line, it gives you a gap over here. And so I didn't do the percentage on this one, but if we sort this by the gap, and again, the confidence is going to be fairly close to this. And then we just put a little over or under on anything that's 2 points or better, just to kind of point people in the right direction. And look what it did. It absolutely smashed. So the cheat gap was 28-7. So the confidence percentage was 26-5. The cheat gap was 28-7. So they both did really well. So this is something we're going to monitor to go forward. Again, it's only been a few days since we've implemented all of this. And I usually don't have time to go back every day and look at the results, but I'm trying to do that, do a video, kind of show you guys some of the different things we can look at. I know some people just use projections, just use it as a guide. It is something to keep in mind. Now, I do want to point out, people always ask about unders. Now, I try not to play unders, but down here, they did not do as well. So our unders -2 or less, you could see went 2 and what's that? 2, 4, 6, 7, 2 and 7. So the unders did not end up very well last night. But one, Kyrie was one player, and he finally showed up, played a good game. We knew that was going to happen. Siakam stayed under, and then Ayton went over. So those are fine. Just look at the players, you know, kind of get an idea on if you think they're going to hit or not. And then the streaks. When we sort by streaks, I like to see these, you know, who's up, who's down. So streaks of 3 or more, they ended up 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 and 3. So not terrible. That was pretty good. I wrote down 8 and 3. Oh, there's one more down here. Okay, so streaks of 3 or more ended up 8 and 3 on the day. So that was fairly good. And then hit percentage over the last 5. Let's look at 80% and up. And so the top end, they did really good. And then the bottom end, they kind of faltered a little bit. And that ended up at 19 and 11 for the top 20 plays. But if you stuck with the top end plays, they did really well. So again, a lot of positive feedback. Just to answer some general questions, I've had people message me and say, hey, if I sign up for premium, do you give me your prize pick cards? The answer is I don't sell cards. I'll give you the plays that I like. But I don't necessarily go in every day and look at prize pick specific lines. I play a lot of same game parlays on DraftKings because I can move alt lines and it's so much easier to win money. But if you only have access to prize picks, I definitely understand. When I post the screenshots that you see that have the plays on there, those are free. Nobody's paying for those. I put them on Twitter, Facebook group. I put them in the chat. I don't do them every day, but I try to get them 3, 4, 5 days a week, just kind of depending upon what's going on. Sometimes I'll put them in an article and send them out. So again, if that's all you're looking for and you don't want to do any research, just stay in the free group. Do not sign up for premium and just kind of watch for those to come. It is rare, but I do sometimes only put them in the Facebook chat because I don't have time to create that screenshot that I share with everybody. But if that's all you're looking for, then premium is not for you. I don't want people to get the wrong idea. If you want to do some research and you want to see all of this stuff, the premium group has an excellent Facebook chat with guys that post stuff in there, same game parlays, prize picks, everything all day. So even if I'm busy at work and I don't have time to do any content, you can guarantee the sheet's going to be posted in the morning. It's going to be updated about 4:30 Central Time, and we're going to have all the roto projections, fantasy projections, last 7-day averages, our confidence percentage, and our cheat gap. So on days that I don't play, I want premium members to be able to get in there, open up the sheet, and have a process to start digging out plays. And you guys are doing it. I love seeing the screenshots. I love the feedback of, hey, I put in this for 20 bucks and won 100. Hey, I did this for 50 and won 250. Hey, I found these plays on the sheet. So you guys are learning, you're picking it up, you're doing great. And I love seeing you in the chat when you're sharing plays like, hey, I like this. And then someone else will be like, well, no, I like the under because of this. Oh, well, I didn't know he was out. And you guys are doing a great job using each other to try to come up with these plays. So anyways, this is the recap from Thursday, January 19th. And again, the cheat gap and the confidence absolutely crushed it last night. The last 7-day average was 28-7. And then the projections, just raw, were kind of about 50-55%. Nothing great, but something we are going to monitor. So good luck, guys. I'm so glad it's the weekend. I've got a dentist appointment at 11, an inspection at 1 o'clock, and then I will be home this afternoon looking at plays for this 9-game slate. Good luck.